The reason why your body is reacting in the way that it's acting is because it has lost trust with you. And that might sound a bit painful to hear, but I'm going to show you in this video how to regain that trust with your body so you and your body can be on board together. A lot of people in the conscious community tend to work a lot on the spiritual energetics of things, but they forget about the body and how important it is to bring the body on board with us. This is what the human angel is all about. It's not just about, anchoring in your highest self. It's about allowing for your body and your highest self to come together. And so when your body has this resistance in it, it often tends to get triggered more often. It often tends to fight, flight, or freeze, or it doesn't want to be in there. Or there's this energy that's just stagnant in your field. It's just lingering there. So we want to bring the body on board with us so we can activate our highest self and have the vessel for our highest self to come through. Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I've been and overcome over 19 extreme traumas in my life. Each one of these traumas created many, many more, because when you have an unhealed trauma in your field and it's not processed properly, it actually recreates this same or a similar trauma over and over and over again throughout your life until it is properly processed and cleared. So I have learned from an embodied understanding. This isn't something I read from books. This is something that I have an embodied understanding of how to move through all types of blocks, all types of traumas, how to activate your gifts and your highest self in the process. And today we're going to be talking about your body, because your body is a powerful asset in that process. So let's dive into it. How do you lose your body's trust? Ooh. You lose your body's trust by taking it on a ride when it didn't want to go on a ride. What do I mean by that? I mean, when we were younger, we often did things that our body didn't want to do, right? The drugs, the alcohol, the cigarettes, the partying maybe a little bit too long, the putting yourself in painful situations or places that were uncomfortable, that were not just a healthy uncomfortable, but a place that was very painful or not good for your body. Like, for example, getting tattoos. Or you can even put your body into a state of trauma if you are putting it through extreme things that it doesn't have the time to process at first around. For example, doing extreme fasts without first having a conversation with your body. Guys, I just wanted to quickly notify you that I have a free energetic upgrade group activation that's held on Zoom once a month. If you want to be notified of this free event, then please subscribe to my email list in the link below. How do we build that trust back with our body? Well, one of the most important things that you build your trust with your body is that you begin to have these conversations with it. You talk to your body, you communicate to your body, right? All the time, I'll go inwards and I ask my body, how are you feeling today? If I notice something that's lingering, or if I notice just, maybe a pain in my heart, how are you feeling today? I notice a pain in my heart today. Is there anything that's coming up? Can I assist you with anything? Is there anything that I can do to help you feel more soothed or to release this pain? And your body, if you listen, might actually say, tap on my heart. And so you might tap on your heart. Your body might say, I just need a hug today. So you'll give yourself a hug. Your body might say, I need some water. So you go grab yourself water. Your body might say, I would like a piece of pie and a bunch of candy because that's going to cure my cravings of this energy I'm experiencing in my body. And you might say, let me check in with my highest self and see if that matches my frequency. And so you might tune in and see, does this feel good for my frequency? Okay, no, this does not feel good for my frequency. Body, I would like to let you know this does not feel good for my frequency. So we are not going to be having candy and a slice of pie today, but I'm, tune in with me in the future. My body has never said candy, but it has, I could see pie being something as somewhat nourishing, depending on, as long as it's not coming from a craving, right? When our body craves something, that is from a trauma response. That is from a trigger. It's needing to fill something deep inside because it feels unwhole. It feels incomplete. It needs something. Like any addiction, drugs or alcohol or sugars, candy, that's an addiction. That's a craving that your body is believing that it needs to fill this hole inside because it is lacking something, right? It is lacking this completeness. But you're never incomplete. You are always whole. And so it is a trigger or a trauma response that you need to work on. So being with the body, feeling the body, allowing for those energies to come in. You can even say something like, I welcome these energies in. And just communicating with the body, asking that body what it needs, talking to it. Also build trust with the body by stopping to do those things that hurt it. Not going to get tattoos anymore, not going to go drink anymore, not going to suppress energies with alcohol anymore, not, doing these things that actually hurt our body and are toxic for our body. Replenishing the body, actually taking care of it, soulful foods, grounding yams. You would be surprised with how much grounding earth foods, like the yams, these sweet potatoes, like how those foods actually ground and feed your body. And it actually feels more calmer when you eat those solid, nourishing earth-based foods, right? The snacking, right? Oftentimes a little bit of snacking here and there with these processed foods that can make the body have this anxiety in it. It's not a grounding food. So we want to nourish the body. We want to also do things for the body that makes it feel it can trust you. Maybe taking the body or you for a massage. When was the last time you went for a soothing massage? When was the last time you went for a massage that allowed for you to just feel so good after? When was the last time you went out and actually, did something for your body, like a spa day? A beautiful spa day, whatever that is. Anything that allows the body to step into a more relaxed position. Now, this isn't something that you necessarily want to do permanently, but it's definitely something that you want to do from time to time to let your body know that you're here, you care, and you can do it permanently if you want, if that's how you like to do things. But if you're just building trust, you want to make sure that it's something that's somewhat consistent that you're doing, like at least once a month. If you don't have money to actually take yourself for a massage, just giving yourself your own massage, putting your hands on your back and doing it that way, that is really good. Being open to receive different things. Sometimes a pizza might actually be good for your body. And sometimes your frequency might actually say, yeah, I would love a pizza right now. So being open to that. I mean, that's rare for me, but it does happen, right? I listen to my body, I check in with my frequency, and together we make the decision on what it is that I want to eat for that day, or what it is that I want to eat right now. When the body stops trusting you, it looks like the body has no more intuition, right? You don't have that intuition. You feel chaotic more often. It's that lingering energy. But when the body starts to trust you again, your intuition can start to open up. Your body can start to give you really profound signals, and you can start to actually hear your body communicate. And your body, like I said before, is so intelligent. And when our body's intuition starts to turn on, things can start to shift and we can start to move forward in a life in a very fast speed. So having that with your body is so important. A slow breath work. Oftentimes people tend to do these really intense things in order to get somewhere. And if we don't have a conversation with our body beforehand, or if our body isn't ready to, that can also, create a gap between your body and your body trusting you. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if you were gonna say do a really long fast, but you didn't have a body with you didn't have a conversation with your body first, then your body doesn't know what it's getting into. And your body's going to go into starving or frantic, especially if it is, if it's still struggling with a lot of, trauma from the past and that hasn't been healed with yet. And now we're going into this entirely different traumatizing situation, which can actually be very healthy for you if done right. But your body doesn't know because you haven't had a conversation with it, or you haven't worked on yourself ever, and you're stepping into fasting like it's going to heal you from everything. Fasting is a really powerful way to heal the body, but it's something that you do when you've also worked on yourself a bit as well, right? Otherwise, you're going to be, for example, I did a 21-day fast. And in this 21-day fast, I found that while I was during my fast, I didn't go into these deep, dark, depressive states or these crazy episodes that most people would go through from people that I watched. They would have these mental battles and they would fight and they would go crazy and all of these things. And they said that it would be up and down and up and down, and I never had any of that. The reason for that was because I did a lot of the healing work before. And I also did 3-day fasts first, right? And I every time I would have a conversation with my body before. I would talk to my body and I would say, body, we are going to be going on a water fast and it's going to be 3 days long. I'm letting you know this, right? And I would have that conversation, and your body actually does so much better when it's on a fast. It actually stops half the cravings, I would say, most of the cravings. Like I would rarely crave food unless it was actually like, just stomach hunger kind of, but I wouldn't crave food as much, which was really interesting that I noticed. But yeah, so there's a way to do it. Cold therapy, really powerful, right? I love cold therapy, cold and hot therapy. I love doing it. I don't do it for the same reasons that I did when I first started doing it, but now I just do it for an energetic upkeep. When I originally started doing it, it was to master my mind in a triggered state. But having a conversation with your body before you go into the cold therapy, right? Body, I'm gonna step into some really icy water right now. I'm just letting you know. And then stepping into that icy water. I would stay away from doing anything that is unnecessary for the body, because ice therapy is healing for the body. It is very healing for the body. But when we're doing things like tattooing isn't healing for the body. It's more of a thing to look a certain way. And yes, I have a lot of tattoos on my body. I did not take care of my body when I was younger. But that's just a really great example of the fact that you can still rebuild that trust. You can bring your body on board no matter how many things you've taken it on, how many things that you took it through that it didn't want to do. And you can start to work with the body again, right? So I used to have, back in the day, I stopped, my limbs stopped working. My limbs stopped working, and I never got diagnosed. I never got diagnosed, unfortunately, for all of the things that I had. But the way that I was brought up in was I escaped from a cult when I was a child, right? So I was in a cult, and I was taught things that doctors were bad and all of that stuff. So I never got diagnosed, but my body stopped being able to work. And so it was a lot of work that I had to do to reprogram myself on the deepest layers. And I just want to let you know, like, you can reprogram yourself. You can work with your body. And your power of your thoughts also are directly correlated with the way your body feels, right? If your body is feeling unsafe and you're constantly wondering why you're thinking all of these crazy negative thoughts, it's because your body still hasn't gotten on board with the way that, all of the spiritual work that you're doing. Having some sort of slow breath work is really great instead of doing these fast extreme breath works that push energy out. Those can be great, and there's a time and place for those. But if you're wanting to soothe the body and be one with the body, doing slow breath works with the body. So passive breath, like slow inhales for the count of 30, as if you're breathing in air through a straw. And then exhaling for 30 seconds as if you're exhaling through a straw. And you want to be as present in the body during this process as possible. You want to feel everything, allowing your body to feel, be with it. Feeling the body is so important. Your body doesn't, it can't alchemize that energy on its own. You are the alchemizer. Your body is the vessel that's holding it all. And so it is the combination of working with your body that will help to move this energy and help for your body to be able to open up once it starts to trust you again. And once it starts to trust you again, you can begin to start to really love yourself in all different areas and start to love the world around you as well. But it's not something that you can just, all of a sudden choose and then one day you're there. It's like there is effort involved. There is practice involved. There is compassion and self-love and dedication to doing this over and over and over again. And over time, your body begins to open up like that beautiful flower that you are. So how does your body's intuition speak to you? Well, everybody has different ways on how they receive information, but feeling is the number one way that your body speaks to you, right? How does it feel around something? So if you're filled with fear to begin with, then you have to process that fear because you won't be able to hear your body's intuition. So I'm going to be creating an entire video on this, so around how to properly process triggers and trauma from the source. So if you want to learn more about that, please subscribe. But for this in general, you want to make sure that there's none of that fear initially in your space. And then you want to ask the question, does your body give you a yes or a no? Does your body, when you ask the question, contract? Does it get darker? Does it feel fear then when you ask that question? Does it feel like a slightly less in energy? Or when you ask that question, does it lift up? Does it get brighter in the room? Do you feel a yes in your body? And over time, you're going to be able to build that muscle. So it might be minimal at first, but over time, it's going to get stronger and stronger, especially when you practice all those things I shared. So over time, your intuition will get stronger with your body. And if you want to know more about how to activate your divine guidance system, I do have a course called Soul Ascendance Academy, which is filled with activations and powerful